What's up, everybody? I'm Tim from Timber Rich Gifts, back to do another unboxing and supplier review. The company we're checking out today is called Nature's Items. It's a company out of Sheldon, Wisconsin. It's a fairly new company. Some of you may not have heard of them yet. So hopefully this review will help you understand a little bit about what they're about and hopefully influence your decision of whether or not you'd like to purchase from them. Now, they are a new company. If I remember right, they've been in business for just over a year. It's not necessarily a bad thing, though. But them being a new company actually works out in the candle maker's advantage. Because they're a new company, they're going to be looking to add new products, and they're going to be looking to innovate in ways that are going to separate them from their competition. Now, the way that works out for us is say that you want to purchase from them, but you also want kind of a one-stop shop where you purchase your fragrance oil, your wax, and your containers all in the same place. So let's say you want a specific wax. Let's say you want Golden Brands 464 or IGI 4630. With them being a new company, they're going to be more open to our suggestions as far as what they actually carry in their shop. If you were to reach out to one of the bigger suppliers, tell them that you wanted a specific wax on their shelves, chances are they're already going to be locked into contracts with the suppliers that they already have, and they're not going to be able to bring in new suppliers to be able to fill that need for you. With Nature's Items, they're still contracting their suppliers, so if you write to them and tell them that you need to see a specific product on their shelves, good chance they can actually contract and get that on their shelves as they grow their company. Another way that works out to our advantage is with them being new, they're always looking to innovate to be able to stay one step above their competition. So they're going to be more receptive to our comments and suggestions. You know, if you were to write to them and say you want to see a combination scent of chocolate chip and bubble gum, okay? If you write to one of the bigger companies and say you want to see chocolate chip bubble gum, they're going to be like, no, nobody's going to buy that. We're not going to make that go away. Well, with Nature's Items being a new company looking to innovate for their customers, if you write to them and say you want to see chocolate chip bubblegum, you know, who knows, there's a good chance they might just put that on their shelves because they're seeing that that's what their customers want. You never know. But even though they're new, they're a great company. They've got a lot of great things going for them. So let's check out some of the things that they offer. One of the biggest ways they're trying to set themselves apart from other companies is their shipping. Let's first talk about how they actually ship. You can see the box I got from them. That's the standard that they're going to set. Everything you order from them comes in a box, whether it's a 1 ounce sample or you've got some mega order. It's all going to come boxed. If you've ever ordered from other companies, you'll see that sometimes with the fragrance oil, they're going to send it out in either a poly mailer or maybe a cardboard envelope. It's not always the best idea if you're sending a plastic bottle full of liquid. I can tell you from the time I spent working at the post office is these are not treated kindly. Okay? These are, you know, they're not abused, but these are tossed around, bumped, stuff stacked on top of them. You can see even the box they sent me, it's a little dinged up, but it got here great. You know, with one of these, you run the risk of your fragrance oil being busted and your order being ruined and creating headaches for you later on down the road. And a lot of us with candle shops, when we place an order, it's because we need to get products out the door. So if you get your fragrance oil from a company that used a poly mailer, it's broken, that just sets you back even more. So Nature's Items have solved that problem by ensuring that everything they send out is sent in a box. In addition to that, it's packed with care and it's crammed full of great packing supplies. They use a high quality crinkle shred. There's quite a bit of it in this box. So, you know, if you've never actually bought this yourself, it's not very cheap. There's a lot of different cheaper options that they could use, but they've gone with this to ensure that their products arrive safely. And not to mention it's recyclable, reusable, so if that's important to you as well, you can set this aside, reuse it as you ship your products, or recycle it with your other recyclables that you send out each week. Okay, now one of the greatest things about their shipping is all shipping any order to anywhere in the continental US is only $5. Now if you've ever ordered candle supplies, you know that the shipping can get pretty expensive. You know, you'll place an order with a company, then go to checkout and see $30, $40, $50 shipping. You got to get what you need, but that shipping can be pretty annoying and can break your budget pretty quickly. But with Nature's Items, any order, $5 shipping anywhere in the continental US. So this order that they sent me was only $5. Now when I first got onto their website, one of the first things you'll notice is a big banner across the top that says $5 shipping anywhere in the continental US. I figured there would be a catch to that somewhere. You know, it sounded great, sounded too good to be true, So I figured I'd try to test that a little bit. So what I did is I just went through their website, just loading my cart up. By the time I was done, I think it was like $1,200 worth of fragrance oil. I think the order itself was probably 120, 130 pounds. That order would, obviously I couldn't place a $1,200 fragrance oil order, but if I had, that order would have shipped for $5. Just to put that in perspective, an order I placed from a different candle company with similar weight cost me $60 to ship. Had I placed that order with Nature's Items, it would have shipped for $5. So whether you're buying 5 pounds of fragrance oil or 500 pounds of fragrance oil, it's going to be packed with care, it's going to arrive safe, and it's only going to cost you $5. Don't ask me how they're doing that, but I'm glad they are. You guys definitely will be too. So let's check everything else out. Okay, so we got all the crinkle shred out of the way. There's actually a ton of it. They made sure they took great care in packing this to make sure it arrived safely. So we got everything unboxed. Let's check out what we got. Now the first thing I noticed when I opened it, just a pin with their company name and web address. It's not really integral to your order, but it's just a nice customer service touch on. Everybody loves getting free stuff. You can never really have too many pins. So just the fact that they included something like that is pretty cool. Okay, now let's talk about the actual products they sent. I saw on the manifest where they sent me several bottles of candle dye. So right there, they sent me 5 different colors. And we all use most of us use liquid candle dye. We kind of think there's really no way that you can actually improve on it. It's pretty much the same that you get from every different company. Theirs is quite a bit different. I used some last night. The color worked great. Now they actually put out a great candle dye. It's a great product. One of the ways that they set theirs apart from everybody else is the dropper method. If you've ever gotten candle dye from a different company, 99 times out of 100, it's going to have that little dropper that you unscrew and drop out. Those work okay, but as you all know, they can be kind of messy. You've got an open bottle of candle dye laying there that you can knock over, and the dropper itself can get kind of messy. The solvents in the candle dye itself will actually break down the rubber over time, so it doesn't have a great shelf life. Eventually it's going to break down, it's going to get messy. You might touch the little dropper to your hands or something. I don't know how many times that I've actually gone to work with pink, blue, or purple hands just because the candle dye itself is kind of messy. One of the ways that they fix that problem is the dropper method they use is this little screw on top dropper cap that they use. So it's going to look something like this. So rather than the messy dropper that you got to take out and drop, put back in, get candle dye everywhere, you're just going to unscrew the cap and it works just like any other dropper. You can set it down, knock it over, it's not going to spill. And when you're done, you just screw the cap back, virtually mess free. So not only do their candle dyes work great, but it's actually going to be a lot easier to use, a lot less mess free. It's going to save me cleanup time. So these are really great. So let's dig into this and check out their fragrance oils. This is what one of their 1 ounce fragrance bottles looks like. As you can see, they use the blue PET plastic. These are UV resistant. It's going to keep your fragrance oil fresh for a lot longer. If it were to happen to be in the sun or the light, eventually that sun or the light's going to deteriorate your fragrance oil. But with the UV resistant, it's going to protect it for a lot longer. Another thing you'll notice about it is it's labeled very well, but it's not extravagantly labeled. From some of the other companies, the labels are really extravagant. They've got beautiful artwork on them. They look great, but that extra cost in labeling, that costs the company more, which in turn makes their products a higher price because that extra cost is passed on to us. So their labels are great, but they're not too extravagant to where they just make their fragrance oil just completely unaffordable. Now, as they're shipped, their fragrance oils are actually packaged in these plastic bags as well. So that cuts down on the risk of if one of them should happen to bust or break open, it's not going to contaminate your entire order. If one of those broke open, it would definitely ruin the one that broke and maybe the ones that are in the bag with it. But there's plenty more in the box that isn't going to be damaged because of these plastic bags. But to further prevent that from happening, each bottle is sealed with this induction seal. It's going to keep it from leaking if it were to be smashed or anything. It's going to cut down on leaks during the shipping. Alright, so let's go and open these up and check them out. The first one is a Simply Divine Cherry Pie. I love cherry pie, so I'm definitely looking forward to this one. It smells really good. Just by the name, I was expecting like a really heavy cherry smell. Definitely has a very pleasant cherry smell, but because it's cherry pie, it actually does have a kind of a bakery smell to it. You can kind of smell the pie crust in addition to the cherry. That's pretty cool. Next up is Bourbon Butterscotch. These combination scents are becoming more and more popular, so the fact that they're including these in their lineup just kind of goes to show you that they're definitely keeping up with the times and trying to put out what the customers are looking for. So let's check out their Bourbon Butterscotch. And again, it's definitely not overpowering. You can definitely smell each scent in there. You can smell the bourbon separate from the butterscotch. That's awesome as well. Alright, next up is Pumpkin Frost. Here in a couple months, fall's going to hit. There's going to be pumpkin everywhere. So the pumpkin scents are just going to explode. Let's see what their Pumpkin Frost smells like. I'm expecting a pumpkin scent, but I don't really know what the frost is going to give us. So let's see. It's definitely got the pumpkin in there. Kind of a smooth, mellow pumpkin baked good scent. Almost like maybe like a pumpkin cupcake kind of type. Next we have Orange Sherbet. I was expecting a real heavy citrus smell, but it actually does have that kind of that orange push pop kind of smell to it. That's pretty cool. Alright, next is our Lilac Blossoms. The floral scents are really big this time of year. Let's see what Lilac Blossoms smells like. It's definitely a nice, smooth, mellow flower smell. I can kind of picture this in like a purple candle. Honestly, I have no idea what color a lilac is supposed to be. That's a really great floral smell though. Alright, next up is Mahogany Apple. I believe this is a duplicate scent from Bath & Body Works. Let's check it out. Almost smells like an Axe body wash that I use. Alright, next up is Sugared Apple. It's one of those combination scents where you can definitely make out the different scents in it. You can definitely smell the apple, but alongside of that you can also smell like kind of it's not really like a really sharp sugar smell, but you can definitely smell that sweetness that's separate from the apple. Okay, we just saw the Mahogany Apple. Let's check out the Mahogany Teakwood. Okay. And again, this one's definitely a very strong masculine scent. I expected them to be similar, but they're actually quite different. You can, this one's got more of like a woodsy type smell. It smells really good too. It's definitely still has that kind of a masculine soap smell. All right. Next up is Pumpkin Pecan Waffles. I already know this is going to smell good just because I love all three of those things. Yeah, it's a great bakery scent, and again, it's one of those combination scents where you can actually smell all three of the combination scents. You don't have one that's overpowering the other. You can make out all three of those notes in there. You can definitely smell the pumpkins, the pecans, and the waffles. All right, next up is Route 66. I've never smelled this one before, so I'm not sure exactly what to expect. Okay. It's got a real sharp, clean smell to it, almost like a sporty cologne. That smells really good. Alrighty, next up is Lemon Pound Cake. Again, another great sounding bakery scent, also a good combination scent. You know, the lemon's not overpowering. You can definitely smell the baked good notes to it. Kind of maybe with the sugar on top. Smells just like the lemon loaf at Starbucks, honestly. Next we have Leather. I do a lot of manly candles, real masculine type scents in my shop. So I definitely know what this is supposed to smell like. Let's see if theirs measures up. And it's definitely spot on. It's what I'm looking for whenever I put out my leather candle. It's got that real raw, unfinished leather smell to it. Alrighty, next up is Volcano Capri Blue. This is another duplicate scent, which I believe is one of the ones that you'll find at Bath and Body Works. It's just spot on. It smells just like the candle that you can go out and buy. If you've never smelled this before, just picture a kind of a masculine version of Love Spell by Victoria's Secret. That's probably how I would describe this one. All right, next up is Amish Harvest. And if you've never smelled this before, this is a great fall scent. It's definitely a great fall spice scent. Definitely something that you should have in your fall collection. Next up is Fruit Loops. We should all be familiar with Fruit Loops since we were kids. Let's see how theirs stacks up. Okay, and again, it's spot on. I don't really need to describe to you what Fruit Loops smells like. You should already know. But theirs smells just like Fruit Loops. Next up is Happy Birthday. I'm expecting kind of a birthday cake, kind of a yellow birthday cake smell. Birthday cake is one of my more popular wax melts. So let's see how theirs stacks up. And it smells just like what I expected it. It's you can definitely smell the high vanilla content, but it's not overpowering. You can definitely smell the birthday cake smell that they were going for. Next up is the iced cinnamon rolls. You can definitely smell the sugary cinnamon roll smell to it. It's got a really strong cinnamon note, but it's not too overpowering to where it would be unpleasant to someone that didn't like cinnamon. So that's definitely one that's worth checking out as well. Next up is our hot cocoa and cream. Again, with the combination scents, like I said earlier, those are becoming more and more popular. You can see they offer quite a lot of combination scents. Just kind of shows you that they're trying to keep up with what's popular at the time. And that's a great fall and Christmas scent as well. It's not too chocolatey, not too overpowering, just kind of a more mellow chocolate cream smell. All right, and next up is our Baja Cactus Blossom. It's another Bath and Body Works duplicate scent. And again, it's spot on. They've got a great selection of duplicate scents, and every one that I've come across so far has been just like what you could walk into a Yankee Candle, Scentsy, or Bath and Body Works and pick up and smell it. So if you're at all curious what this smells like, just head to Bath and Body Works, pick up their Baja Cactus Lotion, and it's going to smell just like it. Next up is our bubble gum. As you've noticed so far, they've got a very eclectic collection of scents. It's not just they're sticking to, the basic florals and baked goods. They've got a pretty unique selection. You're more than sure to find something that's going to interest you if you check out their shop. Let's see what their bubble gum smells like. And it does. It smells just like that pink bubble gum we used to get with our Halloween candy when we were kids. It smells identical to that. That's actually a better bubblegum scent than the one that I've been using from a different company. So I believe I'm going to switch to that for my bubblegum wax melts. Next up is Blue Raspberry Jolly Rancher. And again, it's spot on. It smells just like opening up the plastic wrapper to the Jolly Rancher candy and taking a whiff of it. Next up is their Driftwood. I'm expecting like a real woodsy, earthy type scent. And it does. It has that real smooth, mellow, earthy type scent. You can definitely see this in like a men's lotion or a cologne. And also a great candle. And last but not least is their Black Opium. I saved this one for last because I've noticed in a lot of the Facebook groups, everybody's always complaining that Nature's Items is sold out of Black Opium. So it's evidently very popular. Got to be one of their best sellers. Fortunately, they were able to send me some so I can get my hands on it and check it out for you guys. Let's check it out. I can definitely see why this is one of their best sellers. It's got a real gorgeous, kind of a perfumey type smell. It's not quite floral, not quite sugary, but it's not going to make sense to describe it this way, but it's kind of like a feminine perfume, but also kind of masculine at the same time. Don't know that I can actually do it justice to describe it, but It smells great. I can definitely see why it's one of their best sellers. There you have it, folks. That was Nature's Items. I hope you enjoyed the review. I'm going to leave a link to their website in the video description so you can go check them out. If you do place an order with them, do me a favor, make sure in the comment section of your order you just type in that you saw them on the Timber Ridge Gifts YouTube channel. It really helps me solidify my relationship with them as a supplier and supporter of my channel, and kind of lets them know through their analytics where their customers are coming from and what marketing is working best for them. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, head over to Nature's Items, place an order, mention me in the comment section, and enjoy. Thanks for watching, y'all.